Bear with me. Bear with me. There we go. There. Let's figure out this little tripod. Tighten that up to there. Put that back. There. There we go. Oh, is that okay? Let's see. Not long since I've gone live on this phone. Right. How we get this is bizarre. We're getting thumbs up, but it's telling me there's no viewers, but people are putting thumbs up too. Oh. So let's see when the comments come through. So guys, if you can see me, a few little technical issues. I was hoping to go live a lot earlier, but I'm in the middle of editing a video, and for some reason, well, I know what the reason is. I've done an effect on the video, and it's taking forever on my laptop to export the video. So the laptop is, I'll show you. The laptop is working away here. That's exporting on that. So I thought I'd go live on my phone instead. But then I realised I've got another phone, so I don't have to go live on my phone. That can be over here for anything else I need to do in the meantime, whilst I'm talking to you guys on this phone instead. Anyway, the only thing with this is, though, the comments are tiny. So let me just see. If I can. We're going to do a little test, right? Sorry, I'm just going to do a little test. Whilst I've got you there, I'm going to see if I can pull this up on my computer screen and see the comments bigger on there, because they're flipping tiny on that screen. So just bear with me 1 second. How are we all doing anyway? Dave Noble, Harry Hargreaves, Paul Garland, Craig Palmer, Mark Waterworth. What did Mark say there? How you doing, fellas? Anyway, watch the video when you did the girls' bedroom window. You, sir, are an absolute legend. Oh, cheers, Mark. Thank you very much, mate. So why hell go with that now? Martin Axford, hi Kurt, planning to render a thermalite block wall with sand and cement render, going to use SBR slurry to seal it first, hoping this isn't a terrible plan. No, that's fine. Just make sure you leave a good key. Stipple the slurry, or you could actually key it with a wire scratcher. Now, a lot of people don't key a slurry coat with a wire scratcher as it's firming up. You have to do that because it'd be too wet otherwise. A lot of them don't do that because they're usually using a cement slurry when you're tanking like a damp wall. But if you're just using it for thermite block to stop them sucking so much moisture out your sand and cement, putting a key in it with a wire scratcher will be fine. Simon Ellison, complicated setup. It's not complicated. It's just I'm going to be waiting for another 2 hours for this on the laptop, and I don't want to interfere with it by trying to run a live stream through it whilst it's trying to export, because sometimes it doesn't take much and it'll kick the export off, and then I've got to start all over again, and I'm already like a couple of hours in, so I don't want to begin again. Show of the week, keep it up. Cheers, mate. Joe Duggan's gone. Shane Mothershaw, Kirk, any tips for tennis elbow, pal? Mate, I've never suffered with it, so no. I'm probably not the best person to ask, because when it comes to injuries, I tend to just leave things and let them develop, so, which is not good advice. Right, wait there. Before I read any more comments, let me just see if I can get the. Let me see if I can get the live stream on here. Just 1 second. Bear with me. That might be easier. I've got to search my own channel on the Trowel. Forgot what it's called. Trowel. Right. Right. There we go. There we go. So I can see the comments here. Let's put you guys behind there so I'm not looking away. How's that? That's a better setup. Right. Right, where was you up to? Simon Ellison, agree with you. That was good of you to do that window, Kirk. To be fair, it was what, half a day's work. I mean, it wasn't really, you know, if you can help someone out for half a day, you know, you should always try and look after your old days and that, shouldn't you? I always think if you can always try and look after people that are vulnerable, you know, and women and children as well. You know, I think I'm the type of fella, if I'm driving down the motorway and there's someone sort of got a flat tire, I know it sounds harsh, I'll try and clock on the way past if there's a fella there. If there's a fella, then I'll just leave them to it. But if it's just a woman on her own, or, you know, a woman with some kiddies, or two women, you know, if there's no bloke there to deal with it, then I'll pull in and, you know, just check that they're okay and change the tyre for them or whatever, just to get them on the way. Because I remember the amount of times that my missus has broke down. You know, she's been stuck on the motorway with we used to have a Sorrento that used to overheat. I'd just be praying to God, thinking, you know, please, someone just make sure she's safe, you know, because she'll just get out the car door into a live lane on the motorway or something. My missus, she's flipping crackers. So, where was we up to here now? Evening, Kirk. Sean, not seen. Sean, not seen. I'm with you. How was the van on the Scotland gig? Van was sound, mate. The flywheel has survived. It's there and back. And now that I'm back, I'm just waiting for the guys to get back in the garage. And as soon as they're back in, then the van will go straight get fixed, hopefully, and it won't be too much more than what he originally said. So we'll see anyway. What where are we up to here now? Not now, mate. Craig Palmer, now, mate, being in and out of the game for over 30 years, is this sponge floating skim worth it? Craig, I would say if you can skim without a sponge, then I'll just carry on doing it. I think, in my opinion, a sponge float is fantastic for anybody that's just beginning and doesn't necessarily want to work as a plasterer. It makes skimming easier, but it's an extra step in the process. So say, for instance, you were a bathroom fitter and you were going to skim 2 walls or something, and that was it, and then maybe next month you might do a ceiling, and then like 3 months later you might, you know, if you aren't doing a lot of plastering, then sponge floating will make your life easier. But if you're going to be a plasterer and do it day to day, forget it, because you just adding extra work, you're adding extra, you know, stuff that you've got to do. It's good this now, right, because I can see me on here and here, and there's a delay. So now I can see what you guys can see. Brandon Overton, Top Man Kurt, love it. Sorry, let's just see what that was. Right, that's on silent now, happy days. Planning on using a Tyrolean gun as I've meshed the wall with wire lath. Martin Axford, flipping that, mate. I don't think anything will be coming off if you've already wire lath, EML, expanded metal lath, if that's what you've used, like the little diamond shapes. By the way, those expanded metal lath has got 2 ways. It's got a smooth side. Like, okay, so what you want is the little diamonds going across ways like this, yeah? When you look at it, they shouldn't be going down, they should be going across. And when you feel it, depending on which way it's been stretched, one way of the lath will feel smooth when you run your hand down. And then if you turn the sheet of it round and run your hand down, it'll feel rough. You want it to the rough sides on the outside, because that means then that the stuff, when you put the plaster on it, is going to slide forwards into the wall. Okay, does that make sense? So there's two ways to use that sheeting. So make sure when you run your hands down, it's scratchy on your hand, you know. Silverback Gamer, you all right, mate? How was the trip to Scotland? Flipping heck. Right, so there was about, I don't know, 13, 40. I didn't count. There was a lot of plasterers in Edinburgh, and as you can imagine, I ultimately went up there with the intention of not drinking, as stupid as that sounds, which now I've actually been there, I realise how absolutely flipping crazy that idea for me was. That I had all intentions of getting there, meeting everyone, having a bit of a laugh, going round sightseeing. I thought I've got a bit of not peace and quiet away from the missus and kids, but you know, I'll be on my own. I'll just get a load of stuff done. I've got loads of things that I want to do. Where I sit down at the computer, I thought I can work through all that sort of stuff whilst I'm just sort of, you know, in the daytime, go meet the lads, have a meal, have, you know, or whatever of an evening. It was just complete carnage. That's the truth. It just turned into 4 days on the beer, basically. It was just nothing happened apart from we got up, we ate, we drank, we went to sleep and woke up feeling rough. And then, fortunately, the hotel that I stayed in, which, to be fair, I got looked after. I got my hotel paid for me. I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal this or not, but Mark Shepherd, the guy that does the half time and what have you, he's like a friend of mine, and he said, "Look, don't worry about it, Kurt. We've got you covered. Easy mix. We'll pay for you." I don't know if I'm allowed to tell people that or not, but anyway, you know, just let all the cats out the bag. So I stayed with Mark, and we had it was a top of the range hotel. There was a sauna and a swimming pool and all that, like, you know. So I was walking around in my shorts and that, like, you know, it was spot on, to be fair. Well, that was good for the hangovers in the morning. A sauna and a steam and a swim and some breakfast and what have you. Oh, here we go. Where have we gone here now? Teddy Smith, how are you, Teddy? Simon Elson, don't disturb it for God's sake. I know, yeah. It's press one thing on this laptop, it'll go wrong. Especially, you know what I'm like with technology. Teddy Smith, can you say hub? Okay, there you go, mate. Why? Hey, someone explain to me what all this is about. I don't get it. I mean, Teddy, I'm assuming that you're not like 12, so I don't know why people want you to say just a random flipping word on the internet. I don't get it. But if it look, mate, if it makes you smile and you get like a little kick out of it, then there you go, hub. Sound happy? Adrian Kingsland, hi Kurt, got a couple of bubbles on K-Rend. Any advice, mate? Oh, right. Yes, when you get little air pockets on monocouche, you want to get this is what I do, right? This is how you get rid of them. So you will get them from time to time. First of all, put your whole wall on, and then once I've done a couple of square meters, I'll go back over it and hit it with the derby, and you can usually spot them then, you know, when you've hit them with the derby. So just hit the corner of your trowel, burst it, you know, make a little way for the air to come out, and then just trowel it back in flat again, you know, push the stuff back with your trowel again. If you don't burst it, they tend to just move round, so it's always a good idea to burst it and then push the stuff towards the hole so it pushes the air out. You can do that as well. Some monocouche render, K-Rend's okay, because the way it sort of firms up is like from the whole thing goes firm at once. Now, I've used other stuff, and it sort of gets like a skin on the outside first, and you try and rule it off of a derby, and what happens is it starts to slide the top around, and it's still wet underneath. So you might not be able to do it then. You might not notice them, but just sort of before the end of, once the whole wall's on, go all over your trowel and give it a good hard trowel all over. By then it should be okay to do that, you know. And then you'll spot if there's any little air pockets and stab them, and you know, and do the same process. Now here's the thing: if you scrape it early enough, if you do it, you don't want any problems. You want to get rid of them air pockets. But if you don't manage to catch them all, and you do find a little hole, and you've scraped it at the right time, the stuff that comes off when you're scraping, you'll end up with a load of like powder on the floor. You want that like snow, basically. You want to be able to squeeze it together and compact it. This isn't ideal, all right? This is not the textbook way of doing it. But in the real world, if you end up with a hole, you want to squeeze all that stuff back together and push it back into that air pocket, right? And then just scrape it back flat again. If you leave the stuff longer and when you scrape it, it's too hard, it's already completely set, then that's it. Because it's basically knackered, you know. You'll end up having to mix a little bit of fresh stuff and fill the hole. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter how good you are at it, it will stand out. So that's the sad truth. And this is the thing with monocouche render. It's not just K-rend. You get little air pockets. You get ghost lines, you get halo rings, you can scrape through to the base coat. There's quite a lot of things that can go wrong with it. So it's you know, you've got to make sure that you charge enough for it, because if you get a problem on one wall, then potentially that whole wall needs completely redoing, you know. And you know, one wall with monocouche render can cost you, I don't know, materials can be up to £1,000 for a wall. So Desperado, hi from South Korea. How you doing? South Korea. It's the well, he's definitely not in North Korea anyway. Right, Teddy. Can you say hi to Teddy, please? Okay, mate, listen. We've played your little game now, so that's it. You can stay and chat away, but no more of this. Can you say this and can you say that? Any more of that nonsense, Teddy, and we'll have to restrict your comments, mate. Fair? Said the two things for you now, haven't I? Brett, that goes for you as well. I just spotted you. Shout out to Brett. That's it now for you as well, Brett. Liam Ludland, what size speed skim do you use? I have two sizes, mate. I use a 1200, and then I've got like a little one as well. I don't know, I think it's a 4 or a 600. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter, mate. You just don't want... It's nice to have a massive speed skim, but you've got to remember that if, depending on what type of work you're doing, you know, if you're doing domestic houses, then it's no good having a massive speed skim if you can't go across the ceiling, because every time you can't fit down the side of the light, you know. So a lot of bedrooms, you know, you want to be able to get the speed skim down. A meter, 1200's big enough, you know. Carl McGowan, Kirk, I've been ill for a while. How's the? I'm sure you're saying, yeah, Kirk, I've been ill for a while. How's the knee? Right, me knee. I've got the 13th of next month. I've got to go and have a scan. I've been and seen the physiotherapist from the doctors. Right, so for anyone that doesn't know, I snapped my ACL. Right, I've done boxing for years, trying to, you know, keep myself in a fairly good condition. And then when my little lad was born, I took it basically a year out and didn't really do anything. And then after about a year of, you know, just relaxing in the house, eating, drinking, and getting fat, the thought of going back boxing to get fit again, because I know what's involved with boxing training, I just thought, I can't, you know, I've done it for years and years. I'm bored of it. I'll try something different. I went to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and on the 3rd or 4th time there, I managed to snap my ACL. There's a thing where you sort of, I can't think of the name of it, but you basically drop down to one knee, grab your opponent around the waist and lift and tip them. Well, as I lifted and tipped, like I was lifting me and him with just one sort of leg, and it snapped my ACL. I knew I'd done proper damage there and then. Well, later on, because I carried on for a little bit, but I knew by the next day, this is a This is properly hurt. This isn't just a little, that's aching. I knew I'd done something properly to it. And I thought I'll just leave it. And then I left it for a couple of months. And that's when I started looking, thinking, that's not really getting better, that. And that's when I thought to myself, do a bit of research online. I must have snapped my ACL. And then I thought, I'll just give it, 6-9 months to get better. And that was over a year ago. So it's no better. I mean, it aches, it hurts when I can't squat down, and I can't really bend it with any weight on it. I can bend it sat down, I can lift my knee up and bend it, but if I try and bend it with any weight on it, it just collapses. So skimming the bottom of the walls is a bit of a pain in the backside. So otherwise, I just live with it. But the fact that it makes work so difficult means I'm just going to go and get it fixed. I went to a physiotherapist, a private one, to see if he, what he would think, and he massaged me legs, give me deep tissue massages on my legs. I don't know what the idea of that was, but anyway, that's what he did. Because then I went to a couple of weeks back. I went to the doctor's physiotherapist, phoned up, told the doctors what had happened. It's been over a year, no better. They sent me to a physiotherapist. I walked in, she sat me on the bed, and within 2 minutes, she put her arm underneath the back of my calf muscle. Okay, so my leg's like this. She put her arm, imagine that's my leg, bit little for me leg, but she put her arm under my calf muscle and then pushed above my knee. And what happens is your foot lifts up, as she pushes your leg down. It's like a seesaw, your foot pops up. So on my good leg, that's what it does. And then she said, on your bad one, she went with C now, and then she pushes it down and my foot just stayed still. So she tried a few different angles and pushed, nothing. So the fact that my foot just completely stays still, she's like, you've 100% snapped the ACL. It's not a tear, it's a snap, it's gone. The foot doesn't even move. You're gonna have to, if you can't live with it, because you can carry on. I mean, I could carry on. If it wasn't for plastering, I could just carry on. If I didn't have to go to work and sort of get stuck in, if I had an office job or something like where I wasn't squatting down, I could just live with it. It's actually not too bad. But just when I squat, I get shooting pains and it collapses. So she said, it'll be an operation. The surgeon won't just operate on her say-so. The surgeon wants to look at a scan. He wants to see a scan. So my scan is on the 13th. I'll go for that and then we'll crack on. Anyway, enough about me. Now you know what's going on. The reason that I left it so long is because I can say this online because I'm not going to do it, but I was going to do like a little insurance thing. Ultimately, when this happens, I've got to have time off work. I'll be sat up in the house for 6 weeks plus, 6, 12 weeks, whatever. I'll be off work for a while. So I thought to myself, I'm going to need money in the meantime. How do I survive, when I have the operation? So I thought I'll leave it to just get better first. I'll just crack on and get better. It's not getting any better. It pops every now and then. I'll get in a funny position and it'll just pop again. And the pain is quite, really brings me to tears. So I thought what I'll probably do is, nothing's on my medical record. I'll go and get insured first. And then I'll go to the doctors. I'll go and get loss of earnings insurance. Then I'll go to the doctors. And then, we'll just, we'll start the process. Then I'll say I've just done it, sort of thing. And that was what I was going to do. But I thought, you know what? It's a bit sneaky, really. And I'll be all right, Ultimately, I get some money off YouTube and other little things that I've got sort of on the go with online stuff. So I can sort of, it won't be comfortable, but I'll be able to survive the 6 weeks off. Hopefully. So that's where we're at. That's what's happening with the old leg. Where was it up to? Brian Costello. Bri. How are you, Brian? We need to have a quick phone call at some point today or tomorrow, if you're about tomorrow, or whenever suits you, mate. I have actually emailed you a link, Brian, as well. You know what you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a link been sent to you, Brian, via email. Simon Ellison, I do free stuff for the elderly all the time. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? If you can help someone out and do something nice for someone, it makes you feel quite good. I genuinely enjoy it, to be fair. Right, where are we up to here? YouTube, good evening, Trowel. How's it going, Ute? You okay, mate? The Wandering Mason, how are you, mate? Michael Kahn, is he back? Yeah, I know, I'm thinking the same thing. Brandon Overton, what's the purpose of each stage of skimming? Okay, the purpose of each stage of skimming. So, first coat, level out any, straighten out any indiscrepancies in the wall, and give it an even suction as best. That's basically what the first coat for me is, to get it nice and sort of straight and flat, and give you an even suction across the wall. Second coat, that should be mixed a little bit wetter, and that's a lot nicer to trowel up then. If trying to trowel up a first coat, just some fellas with one coat, it's just harder work on reskims. If you're on plasterboard, one coating isn't too bad, because you've got that even suction and you've already got the straight, the straight flat wall. So I'm not recommending you go and start one coating on plasterboards, but it's a lot easier to do on plasterboards if you were going to do that, so that's your first and your second coat. Then you want to flatten it in, and basically you're going to give it a first wet trowel and a second wet trowel. That is, as the plaster sets, you start to smooth it out more and more each time. But that also tells you, doesn't it, sort of behind the scenes, that you're not going to get it perfect the first time you go over it. So you want to get rid of all the lines and any hollows and misses when you're flattening out, And then as you're troweling it, it should just be feeling nicer and nicer, just making sure that there's no little blemishes anywhere as you go in. And then some fellas polish, some don't. I personally do. I like to give it 2 coats, flatten it, 2 water trowels, where that's basically where you flick a bit of water on, or brush water on, or spray water on, whichever way you're going to do it. And then the polish. And I use the polish to polish the wall. Yeah, I want it to feel nice and smooth. I don't get it like glass because the painters don't like it. But ultimately, yeah, nice and smooth. But that, for me, that polish is more of a final check. I'm literally just scouring everything with my eyes to make sure, the job's done. But now I'm going to check everywhere and make sure I'm happy with it. That's the best way I could explain it for you, mate. Robardo Kennedy, hey up, mate. Hope you had a good one in Edinburgh. Robardo, I did, mate. And I've got some footage to upload for us as well, for the channel members. But I'm only just starting to feel better today, if I'm honest with you, mate. Angela Maria Santos. Oi, respond. Respond to what? The smooth booth. Hi, mate, can you skim over a painted wall? Yes, of course you can, mate. You've just got to seal it first. Make sure the paint is well adhered, okay? So as long as the paint's stuck, then yeah, it's fine. You can skim over it. Use a sealer, or you can use like PVA, you can use SBR, Blue Grit, Thistle Bond it, Plas Prime, flipping Knauf, Becto Contact. There's endless different primers you can use and sealers. I just use neat SBR, okay? So Brendan L-Glutamine, Kurt, did you notice a spike on your channel after the skill builder vid? Yeah, a little bit. I did. I must admit, I have a little bit, and I've seen a lot of comments from guys that have come over from the Skill Builder channel, which is, it's a lovely thing to do a collaboration with everyone, with somebody. Get your words out, Kirk. It's a nice thing to do a collaboration with somebody. I think a lot of people feel like if you do a collaboration, then your subscribers will go to them. But ultimately, it doesn't. People are on YouTube. They don't just come on YouTube to watch one video. They'll watch a few. So, it's just introducing you to new channels. So I'd like to do more collaborations with other people, and people that are maybe just starting out YouTube channels themselves. Sort of Roger's channel, sort of like, the big daddy to mine, isn't it? So he's sort of helped me more than I've sort of helped him. But, I've got a few subscribers now. I think there's about 50,000, so I could potentially do the same thing for a smaller channel, because it was sort of, it's good for Roger, but it was good, I think I benefited more from it, with more exposure. So I did see a little spike, but I see more spikes really when I do a video that sort of takes off, you know. So if you look through my videos and you look at, like, you know, the popular ones, if you click most popular at the top, whenever you do a video that sort of takes off, that really, you see a big spike in your channel then, you know, more subscribers and views and what have you. Craig Palmer, cheers pal, I just keep going back to my Marshalltown old school. Same as me, mate. I've got a little supply of Marshalltowns. As you can see, there's loads of them. I've got myself a lifetime supply of them. Ian Costa, turn your phone sideways, you'll be full screen on my TV. So shout, let's just see what it does with it there. Oh, no, can't, unfortunately, mate, sorry. It works on my laptop, but when you do it on your phone, it locks the orientation into that size. Sorry, mate. Teddy Smith, that'll do. Hi, that's better for you, mate. Skip to the bottom there. Right, do you know what? There's loads of comments here, and I'm taking ages, so I'm going to start reading these quick. Where have I gone here now? Right. GG, good evening. I know plaster is supposed to stop one or two on the floor. There's one better. I know plaster is supposed to stop one in or two in of the floor. Oh, okay. 1 or 2 inches off the floor, but is one better than the other, please? All it is, it's not so much you got to stop it off the floor, it's more so you just want to be bridging any damp. That's pretty much it. And when it comes to, if you're in a property with no issues of any damp, then, you know, it's more of a case of not dragging crap off the floor up the wall. So, you know, a millimetre from the floor won't matter if it's a brand new house and it's, you know, got viscreen under the slab and it's all dry, you know. MC Shopping Centre, sorry bud, I had to tag you in a short video I just put up. Oops. No, good stuff, mate, good stuff. Craig Palmer, you're a top genuine tradesman, best of luck, pal. Cheers, Craig, you're a gentleman. Thank you, mate. Norman Rad, hello, what is the topic of the live stream? Norman, basically, mate, I'm a plasterer. This is a plastering channel called On the Trowel. The topic of the live stream is literally whatever you guys ask in the comments. We don't really stick to it. We should do, but we just talk about whatever people ask or mention, then the topic just goes off like that sometimes. My problem is, mate, I don't keep up with the comments, so I'm talking about things that people asked maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago because I don't read them fast enough. Bama plastering. For me, the Thistle multi-finish is crap at the minute, either going off too quick or taking ages. More of the latter, so seems to tear whilst first wet trowel. Just wondering, is anyone else having this? Yeah, I've heard of loads of lads having trouble with multi at the minute. I just use board finish. It's all I've ever used anyway, so I can use multi, and I have done, but I prefer board finish because it sets faster. What's going on? Luke Watkins is in the house. How's it going, mate? Yes, Kurt, my brother. How's it going, Luke? You okay, mate? Good to see you on the live stream, pal. Martin Axford, hacked off render. By the way, if anyone's into boxing, that's Luke Watkins. That's the real Luke the Duke Watkins, all right? That's genuinely him. Martin Axford, a hacked off render that had cracked and had lath in it. I don't think they sealed it. The old scratch coat was like sand rather than render. Yes, a lot of old renders, they do tend to deteriorate, you know. Jake Mitchell. Jake Mitchell, you're a G, mate. Got me interested in plastering, but I ain't got the pots. Well, mate, look, the thing is, what you got to think is how many people are out there doing it. You know, if they can do it, then you can do it as well. So just dive in. Jack Webber, the thing is, if you're interested in something, you'll learn a lot faster. There's loads of fellas that have ended up plastering, but it wasn't what they wanted to do. They've just sort of, you know, their dad was a plasterer, or they had no work, and the only job that they could get at the time was becoming a plasterer. So I think the industry, the trade, needs lads that want to be good at plastering. You know, I'm just watching standards, especially on building sites, just going, my mates work on site, and I tell me it's just the standards are getting worse and worse. So we actually need lads that want to be good plasterers, that are interested in it. So if you're interested in it, something you enjoy doing, mate, get stuck into it. Jack Webber, hi mate. Any advice on how to get my foot in the door for an apprenticeship in plastering? All the guys around here don't like hiring youngsters due to the majority letting them down. Right, okay. I've said this before. I'm going to write this down, actually. I'm going to make a video on this, Jack. But the quick answer for you, mate, now, until I make the video, is if there's loads of fellas been let down by lads that don't turn up as apprentices, go and find these fellas that have been let down and offer to work for free for them and work like a Trojan. Show them that you're a grafter. Just say to them, you know, try me out for a couple of days, and if you don't like me, you'd have to pay me. I mean, they're going to pay you. What sort of a bloke would watch a young man work and give him nothing at the end of it, you know? But there's no sort of commitment for them there. If you are absolutely useless, it's easy to get rid of you. So if you do that, mate, and you genuinely want to plaster, you will get a job doing that. But on the flip side, sitting at home, sending text messages out saying, hey, mate, can I jump in with you at any work? That doesn't work, because fellas get that all the time. You know, or parents. I have people's parents messaging me, can our lad jump in with you? I'm like, well, does he even want the job? I mean, why are you messaging me? So, but if somebody turns up, if someone knocked at my door, you know, dressed for work and said, Kirk, I want to be a plasterer, can I learn from you? Can I jump in with you? You don't have to pay me, just you know, see if you think I'm any good. Then they would be in the van on the way to the job with me within an hour. Not, of course, you know, that's like any man that turns you away, is he even a real bloke, you know? Flipping. Ben Dover. Sorry, mate, I'm not laughing at your name if that's your real name. And I know, mate. I've got a mate whose surname's Dover as well. And yeah. Anyway, sorry, Ben. Hi, do you agree with dab in the skim if you've got a massive set on? Just wondering for a point of convo. Yeah, I know some fellas put adhesive in the finish and it just slows it down a little bit. I've tried it a couple of times years ago. I didn't get on with it. I found that it made the plaster go like quite cheesy towards the end of the set and clumpy. Wasn't really my thing. So they do sell products that retard the plaster. You can buy extra time, or you can use cream of tartar. So, and you can buy that from like a bakery shop. Eric, how's it going? Ask the plasterer. How's it going, Egg? You okay, mate? I've just about recovered today, Eric, after our little Edinburgh trip. Rich, hi, can you OCR / mesh over an SBR slurry the next day, or does it have to be done when still tacky? Red brick retaining wall with no tanking on inside but needs tidied up. Thank you. Yeah, the thing is, the slurry coat will bond better to sand and cement whilst it's still wet, but that OCR sticks quite well. All I'll do is make sure, if you are going to let it set and go back on it the next day, is that what you said? Yeah, if you just make sure you key the slurry coat a little bit, you know, you can stipple it, or you can, you know, you can scratch it, just don't scratch all the way through to the brick. Okay, Mondra Haimar Fjords. I can't read that name, mate. Okay, mate, that's fair play to you. Well done. Said the N-word to an Indian live stream. Aren't you a little ray of sunshine? James Lavin, can you nap over dry plaster? Sorry, mate. Terms and terminology is different all around the country. What does nap mean, mate? Can you nap over dry plaster? You have to give me a bit more on that. Teddy Smith, you're okay, son. You're okay. You don't have to be sorry. Ice swallow gum. Flipping heck. Bastard, you got me. James had a. Oh my God, I'm glad you're alive. How was the trip, pal? And it's good to see the beard coming back. Stupid Manscaped. Don't forget about our massive ceiling on the 11th. All right, James, spot on. Yeah, so for those who don't know as well, the last video I did had an integration for Manscaped, which they do like men's grooming products. They sent me out a beard thing and a body hair trimmer, and I had to do like a little advert for them in the video. Well, I didn't have to, but they pay you to do it, so you do them, like, you know. And I accidentally shaved my beard off down to the woods. So it's just starting to grow back again now. Flipping heck. Silverback gamer, Teddy, turn it in, bro. Don't worry, Silverback, I'm on them. There's a few little trolls in the comments, man. I don't know. They've all come at once. I'll just start fishing them out in a minute as we go through. Yeah. So the thing is, though, sometimes I'm quite quick at reading, and I'll read the comments usually quite quick before I say anything. But to be fair, sometimes I get caught out because I'll just get into a little reading mode, and yeah, they catch me. What was the other one called? What did he say his name was? Ice Swallow. To be fair, I'm getting trolled, but that's quite a good name. That's quite funny, that. XT, what's your camera setup? Basically, mate, I've got a Samsung A5 that you're watching me on there, or sometimes I'll be on this Samsung here, or sometimes you'll see me on my Samsung laptop. But the camera on each of them, I mean, I think they're quite good. You tell me. I think the quality's okay. I haven't got any fancy flipping big cameras. I wouldn't even know how to work them. I just literally use my phone for everything. The only thing I would like to do when I do my voiceovers, when I'm editing, I'm using this cheap. But it was like 30 quid. I've soon realised that sound quality is quite important, so I need to invest in a good microphone, and I want to, but I'll tell you why I haven't yet, because I don't want to buy another piece of crap, because what you'll find on the internet is someone will sell, said piece of crap. I mean, it's not crap, but the sound quality is not great. They'll sell that, and then somebody else will sell it for a marked round-up price. So just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's any better. Really, I need some advice off someone that understands about microphones and sound quality to tell me what is the best thing to buy. It's happened. Right, wait there a second.
Talk about the money. Now, I know it sounds crazy.
There we go. It's uploaded. It's done. Did you hear that just kick in there? That's it. It's been imported. Right, let's get these comments back on. Right, guys, now that's done, I can carry on with me editing. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do before I just shoot off. I'm going to blitz through these comments quick because I know there's a load of them. I don't like leaving people out. So I'll just fly through these quick, and then I'm going to carry on with editing because I'll probably be working, I don't know, it's 10 o'clock now. I'll probably be working till 6 o'clock in the morning editing this video, the next video that's coming out. So. DeLong, ooh, you look like Mike Bisping, older, bro. I don't know who he is, but must be a handsome chap. Harry Roberts, good man. You watched a vid where you did the old lady plastering for free. Gentlemen, respect. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you. Brand Vision, can you please say hi, Samantha? How's it doing, Sam? You okay? Sorry, Samantha. Yes, Doom Scooter. Trump 24. FJB. Come on, Brandon. That's what you should be saying. Come on, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Carl McGowan. Kirk, is there a difference in the plaster of now and say 30 years ago? Definitely. The stuff we've got now feels horrible. Well, look, I have noticed a difference in plaster slowly getting worse just in my lifetime. I mean, I started to learn to plaster when I was 11 years of age. Only like weekends, school, all of these, and the odd day that I'd have off school to help my dad, and then full time when I'm 15, since 15 onwards. But I've noticed that the quality isn't as good as what it perhaps used to be. But my dad's told me that it was even, it was far superior when he was younger. Now, I don't know because I haven't researched this all that well, but a lot of the gypsum or whatever they put in the plaster, apart from the gypsum, is sourced from coal power stations. It's like a byproduct, whereas it potentially would have been mined. I haven't looked into this. Maybe it's some research that you guys could do yourself. Have a look whether what they used to mine now comes from coal power stations and what it actually is, because it's just stuff that I've picked up along the way, but I haven't really paid much attention to because there's not really much I can do about it. Some things are worth knowing about, and some things, I mean, you can investigate about it, but it doesn't change anything. So, Lee H. Hi Kirk, any tips on how to plaster a wall of ready mixed plaster, as I can't use powder mix as I've had cancer and the dust can cause problems with my immune system even if I wear a mask. Okay, so a lot of the ready mix stuff, mate, is designed to be rubbed down, which also causes dust as well, so that can be a bit of an issue as well, mate. What might be an idea, Lee? There probably is pre-mixed plasters that will trowel up and polish. Like, for instance, if you got some lime putty, or a lime-based product. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't use like sort of pre-mixed plasters ultimately, So I don't want to give you any bad advice, mate. Ultimately, yeah. Let me come back to you with something on that. Ask me again next time I'm live, because I will find out. I will find out what product you can put on and just basically trowel up and it's done. Because as far as I'm aware, a lot of the pre-mixed stuff is designed to be rubbed down as well. Zazzy, come on, give this guy a like. Cheers, Zaz. I'll tell you what you could do. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe. There's loads of people that watch me that don't subscribe, and they're worried that if they do, that it's going to cost them money. It doesn't. It literally doesn't do anything. It won't. It won't cost you at all. But I'm not bothered if you don't. I won't lose any sleep over it if you don't like me. Mev 2011. I just had 6 weeks off with a hernia up. Being sick in bed will drive you nuts. I know. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get loads and loads of footage of loads of jobs, and then I'll just have loads of editing to do, to keep me busy. Smegma Shield, Kurt, what time are you on till, mate? You probably already know the answer because I'm late with reading the comments, but I'll be getting to the end of these comments and that's it. I've got to edit the video. Tommy Gunn, trouble is, Kirk, you're a hard-working man. This government don't look after the hard-working people, only dossers or illegals. Mate, you're 100%. I know the score. We're all in the same boat. I am digital. Okay, I can't understand what you're saying there, mate. Squeak Millward. What do you think of sponging up? It's okay, mate. It's okay. It's not something I do because it's just extra work. And ultimately, if you sponge it too late and you bring the fat up too late, then what you're gonna do is when you trowel that up, it won't set and it'll be more dusty. So something you gotta watch out for with sponging. You got to sponge the wall fairly early on because the fat, otherwise, that you bring up when you're sponging, you don't want it to be like milky, because it'll just, once it's all set on the wall, you'll be able to just rub your hand on it like dust. Tony T, cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Marco, I'll tell you what, there's cheers, Marco. Thank you very much, mate. There's loads of new names in the comments here. People I don't even know because usually I read through the comments and I see loads of people. It's such and such because you get the same people on. There's loads of flipping new people. Paul Holmes. Kirk, could you probably make loads more money running training courses for DIYers? Kirk, you could probably make loads more money running training courses for DIYers. Potentially. I actually enjoy what I do then, I like, the thing with plastering is it can get quite, I've done it since I was a boy, it can get quite monotonous just doing the same thing, and that's why I'd struggle now with site work, because it literally is just the same process over, and I get a bit bored. I was getting bored of plastering. Doing YouTube makes it a little bit more interesting again for me, so I enjoy doing the YouTube. It makes plastering more interesting because I'm having to think to explain things. I think doing training courses, even if I earn more money, will ultimately get me a little bit bored because it's just the same thing over and over again, showing them how to bore the wall, how to skim a wall, and that'll probably get a little bit boring for me. And then if you're bored, you don't give them your best, do you? So maybe something to think about for the future when I start getting really old, Liam Ludlam, what do you think of Nella Trowels and your opinion I think you meant to say, mate, and your opinion on flexi trowels? Love the advice. Nella trowels, ace. I had all the different Nella trowels when they came out. I tried all the flexi trowels as well. I don't use them now. I prefer lads not to use them, but I mean, it's up to you. No, don't get me wrong. When all the Nella stuff first came out with Ryan Hill, Plasterers One Stop Shop, I was on it. I got the Nella Hawk or handboard, I got the Nella trowels, I got the Super Flex, the Black Edition, I got all the different, everything that come out. I was all over it. I liked it all. So Nella, yeah, great. The plastering trowels, great. I had the Beco cork grip handle, lovely. The cork didn't last long with me gripping it. It wore off, but still a nice trowel. I've actually just given that away about 2 weeks ago. I gave it away on one of the lives, and some lad come and picked it up from my house. He didn't live far from me. I was going to send it in the post, and he come here and got it off me. So I've just given a Nella trowel away. The flexi trowels, I don't bother with using them. I think, in my opinion, it's easier to leave a bad job with a flexi trowel. A good job. I know the wall looks polished and it's lovely and smooth, but it doesn't help with getting the wall flat and filling out little blemishes. So it'll take out fat because it'll flex in to little divots, take out fat where you filled things in. And the wall will look lovely and smooth, but when the light shines across it, it'll look like, the back of a set of fat legs. So I'll try and steer clear of them, unless you've been plastering forever. I mean, I could use a flexi trowel now, quite competently, but I just think, what's the point? TRS F1 Racing, how you going, mate? You okay? Revenge, hi, mate. James, I've got another money-making plan for you too, pal. When you're off ill with your leg, brother, I only require 26% of the profits. That's out. I tell you what, James, as well, my little lad loves that tractor, mate. That's flipping. That's all he ever plays with now. Your top man, cheers for that. Thank you. Armenia, Edgar. Hi, Neanderthal. Neanderthal. So for any of you, well, I'm sure everyone knows what Neanderthal is, like the earliest sort of caveman. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. TRS F1 Racing. What did you cover the windows with? That outside on render job. Everyone goes on about this blue window protector. It's just window protector. It's just a dark blue colour. I can't even think where I got it from, because a lot of the stuff we have now is clear. It might have been, what's the name of his place? I can't think now. There's a Phil Gill. if you don't know any of the plastering, if you don't know any of the plastering groups on Facebook, look up a fella called Phil Gill, Filgil. He's got a render supply shop in Leeds and one somewhere else. Sound bloke, flipping mad as a box of frogs. Yeah, you turn up there and they're all dressed up as Oompa Loompas. So I've turned up to go and get render, you know, to go and buy loads of bagged render. And some of the crazy stuff that he had loads of Oompa Loompas in there. He hired little people, I don't know if you're allowed to say midgets online, but he had like little people with green wigs on with the orange tan running around the warehouse. He's flipping nuts. But yeah, you can get that blue window protector from him. Phil Gill. That's who you're looking for. Is it Premier Render Supplies? I can't think of the name of his business. Gareth Hughes, evening mate from Runcorn. Not too far away, Gareth. You probably could have shouted. I'll be able to hear you. Where are we up to? Right, so I'll just skip a load of comments. Bagger. Oh, sorry, guys. I've just shot past loads and loads of comments there. Flipping heck. Right there. Sorry, guys. I don't want to miss anyone out, so. Liam Roberts, how's it going, Kirk? The Trowel's a beauty, mate. Thanks again. Spot on, Liam. Glad you like it, mate. I've got one or two more people that are just waiting on the last ones, people that slipped through the net and managed to order broken-in trowels that weren't ready. So I've just got one or two of those to get done. And then if anybody wants a nice warning trowel, I'm going to start on this pile, wearing all those trowels in, and they'll be going as well. But it takes a while, it takes me a little while to wear them in, But if anyone wants a warning trowel, there will be some on the way soon. Shane Dowling, Dowling. How's it going, mate? Random, where are you? Mate, I'm on YouTube. Shane Dowling, Down. They call me, have your wall finished like glass. Fair play to you, mate. Reptile Anderson. Oh, flipping nuts. Do you know what? I wasn't going to read it, but why not? Everyone gets a fair shout on my channel, mate. I'll read your comments. Sexy time, yes. For gay boys, good stream. Right, fair dues, mate. Norman Rad, have you got a radio? If so, can you show it to us, please? I haven't, mate. We used to have a radio. We used to listen to radio in work, but we do a lot of filming whilst we're working, and if I've got the radio playing, I get copyright strikes. So I had to literally I give the radio away. I had the DeWalt radio. It's gone. Summer. Hi, I'm a massive fan. I watch all your vids. Oh, thanks, Summer. Thank you very much. Reptile Anderson. Yes, I'm gay. I'm a plasterer. Yes, I really life. Okay, mate. Mevd 2011. If Captain Kirk says you can do it, you can do it. Cheers, mate. John O'Keefe. Well, Kirk, would you come to Ireland to work? John, for the right money, I would, mate, because it'd be a nice little adventure. You Irish lads do a lot more floating and setting over there than what we do over here, and I'd love to come and do a load of float and set. Just because it's something I've done quite a bit of, but I just don't get the opportunity to do it all that much, and I'd love to just come and do it for a couple of weeks, just for the change, ultimately, just for the change. When you do the same thing day in, day out, it's just nice to have a bit of a switch up, isn't it, from time to time. I tell you what I missed as well. I used to love doing loads of pebble dashing jobs, and no one ever asks for it anymore. It's all monocouche render. It's all insulated render. Even just doing a nice sand and cement external job would be good. So if you've got any of that going on as well, then yeah. I only want £500 a day, and I'll be over next week. But yeah, John, in all seriousness, I would like a little trip over to Ireland, mate. Martin Axford, this is a great resource. Really appreciate you taking your time to share your knowledge. Cheers, Martin. We have questions and banter on this as well at the same time. So we answer plastering questions, and we also have shit from trolls. I mean, ultimately, right, here's the thing. I could have a moderator in the comments, and we can block people and we can change it to only subscribers can comment and all that. But I actually think it makes it more interesting, doesn't it? And if anyone starts getting really, too much nonsense, then we just block them. So, John McCann, hi Kirk, John McCann here from Dublin. I'm a fibrous plasterer specialised in restoration. See, John, I'd love to come and do some stuff with you as well. I mean, it's just there's that many different aspects to plastering. There's that many different ways you could go with it. A lot of people think if you can skim, then you're a plasterer. But I mean, there's that many different aspects of plastering. Random, where are you in your house, kitchen or something? Yeah, I'm in the basement, mate. I'm in the basement of my house. You might have heard of my dad, Joseph Fritzl. XT advice on micromanaging customers. Just nip them in the bud the minute you get the first instance. I just, customers like to know what's going on. That's fine. Keep them sort of up to date. But ultimately, I say to them, look, this is how I put it to customers when they start trying to micromanage me. So listen, when I came to price the job, I told you a price for how I was going to do the job. You didn't specify that you wanted to decide. So you might want it done a certain way, but there's not enough in the budget for it to be done that way. I've priced it the way I have to do it. So, with all due respect, if you want to tell me how you want it done and we can rework out the price, that's fine. But otherwise, I've got to do it the way that I need to get it done, because there's a system, there's an order of things that I've got to follow. Otherwise, things take longer, and hence longer equals more money. Love Golf. Can you get a CSCS card without an MVQ or formal qualification to be able to work on site? Cheers, Kirk. Yes, you can, mate. You can. The problem with it is you can go and get just a CSCS card, like a labourer's CSCS card. But then if you're trying to get a start for a firm and you don't know anybody in that firm and you've got sort of no connection with them, it might be a little bit difficult then for them to take you on as a plasterer, if that makes sense. So then you might end up having to work as a labourer for them, But I'm sure it all. I mean, look, there's no roadblocks. Just go for it. Just go and get one, and get in with a firm first. So that before you start worrying about what position you've got. As soon as you're in there, if you are a plasterer, then I'm sure you can. You'll get firing away, won't you? I mean, ultimately, I didn't. Here's the thing. I didn't have any plastering qualifications. I mean, I know lads that have come out of college and they're absolutely useless. I never went to college. I learned from a very young age from my dad, family of plasterers, blah, 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 you know the story. And then basically when CSCS cards come out, they on-site assessed us. So they sent someone out who was watching what we were doing, ticking boxes, and we got MVQs that way. So that, yeah, there's ways around it. Reptile Anderson, right? Oh, listen, mate. You can be as gay as you want. Just stop going on about it. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm straight. I don't have to keep going on about how straight I am. One more comment and you'll have to go. So you've had your warning, mate. If you want to add something or ask something, that's fine. But just banging on about being gay, like it just, I don't know what's the point. Alfie Lander, I've heard a lot of people taking deposits for jobs. What's your thoughts on this? I ultimately, deposits on jobs, for me, I think that there needs to be a level of trust between the customer and me. So sort of depends how you look at it. There's loads of different ways of looking at it. I personally don't, unless it's over a certain amount, right? If I turn up to a little job, plaster a living room, you know, 700-800 quid or something, I won't bother taking a deposit, because I want the customers to feel that I trust them as much as they're going to trust me to do the job, and you know, all the rest of it. I feel like, you know, sort of taking a deposit for the bedroom ceiling and things like that might be a little bit like, I don't know, if you're worried about getting cancelled and then finding somebody cheap and dropping you at the last minute and things like that, then I would recommend you try and work for more of a higher class of customer, you know. Maybe change who you're trying to target for work. Sorry, I got a little bit of reflux here. But then if it gets to a massive job and you're gonna have a business float, you have a certain amount of money, you know, that you want to run your business with, and if you're on a massive job and all your money's tied up with materials and you can't afford to pay the lads because all, you know, you've laid out 3,000 or 4,000 quid on materials, then I'll take a deposit, you know, because I'd say, okay, I've got a certain float for my business, but that's all gone on gear now, so I'm going to have to take, you know, the material money off you or something so I can fund the job and keep it going. Does that make sense? I don't take deposits unless I can't afford to run the whole job to the end without taking the deposit. And then people do it because they don't trust the customers. You know, that's the other thing. You sort of take a deposit so if you don't get paid at the end of the job, you haven't lost everything. But in those situations, I just wouldn't work for them. If I get any inkling that the customers are dodgy or I don't feel comfortable with them, I don't want to work for them. You know, there's loads of work out there. Just go and work for somebody else. So, but that's just my way. Everyone's different, aren't they? You know. So, Ben, it's a fake name. Okay, sound. I'm glad you said that, Ben. I feel better now. Zephrine, Trump 2024 US. Yes. Norman Rad. Have we got any Yanks in? I think, mate, I don't know if it's a load of Americans in the stream or what's going on. Hey, if you're an American in the stream, right, hit the little like button now. We'll see. We'll soon see if there's any Yanks in. UK Motorsport Media. Hi, Kirk. How you doing? All good, mate. I'm good, thank you. Sesso. Hey, how you doing, Sesso? Reptile Anderson, like t-shirt, my friend. There we go. See, nice comments. By the way, this is a t-shirt that we've just had designed. It's going on the store, or it will be on the store. This is like the prototype. Take a little bit and go in neat. My famous little phrase. So the young lady that runs the store for me, she said, I've got an idea, Kurt. Can I just do whatever you want? Whatever you think, just do it. And then she got this t-shirt made and sent it to me because she was saying to me, why do you never wear white t-shirts? Because the plaster, you know, the stains look horrible on it. So she got this, like a coffee coloured one. And yeah, this is what she sent me out to try. So Vivian Boggin Schutz. You say, you slay, can you sing? I am subscribed. Watch your videos all the time. Okay, Viv. I don't know what you mean, slay, I can sing. Jamie Wotton. How's it going, Jamie? So, new subscriber. Nice to have you on board, mate. Alfie Lander. Damn, your beard grew back like a hella fast. I know, mate. I know. Flipping. That's the thing. I have to have a haircut every week. I don't know what it is with my hair. It flipping grows rapid. I remember, do you know, shouldn't say this, but years ago, when I was about 19, you know, going to the gym and all that, started, I took steroids for a little while, you know, taking testosterone and stuff. I did it for about 6 months. Just because I was trying to get as muscly as I possibly could. But I tell you, when you have that, my hair grows fast. It was growing rapid, literally rapid. The hair was just growing out of everywhere. It was unreal. Normad Rad, you are not Scottish. I just realised that. No, I'm not Scottish, mate. Right, tell you what, let's just get to the bottom of these comments here. Purple Water, can you answer my comments? Right, here we go. Purple Water, yeah. Right, right, okay, bear with me, guys, just 1 second, right? So, Reptile Anderson, right? You commented that much that you're clogging up the feed here, son. So I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to just get rid of you, mate. I'm sorry. I don't want to do it, but there's too many comments and I can't read them fast enough. I'm having to sift through all your ones. Put user in timeout. Right, I'm just gonna put you on timeout, mate, so you can come back next time. All right, just for a day. See you later. Right, there we go. Purple Water. I get told to spend too much time on my I get told I spend too much time on my walls. How do I get quicker? Mind the name. It's only younger brother's account. Right, okay, so Purple Water, it's your brother's account. Fair enough. Okay. I get told to spend too much time on my walls. How do I get quicker? So, you don't have to move faster to get quicker at plastering, okay? You've just got to get better technique. So I'll show you. Give us a second. Let me just get one of these trowels here. Right, okay. So when you are, let's get you so you can get me in. When you're putting your trowel on the wall, say you're bringing your bottoms up, yeah, and you're working your way along the wall here. Lots of fellas will overlap, so they'll put a stroke up the wall, and the heel leaves a line like this, and then they'll go again there, right? And they'll just be moving down the trowel, say that much at a time. If you want to get faster, the toe needs to cover the heel line by about that much. Okay, so you want to be moving down full trowels worths down the wall rather than going there and then there and then there and then there, you know, just only going down an inch at a time. You've got the whole blade of the trowel just move down for the next stroke. Doing that will make you, I mean, well, if you imagined if you were just covering it there, you know, every time you just went halfway, and then all of a sudden you went to there, you would literally be twice as fast without moving your arms any quicker. You would literally be 2 times more efficient, if that makes sense. Chris Swan, it's mostly dashing I get or skim. Yeah, I'd love to do a bit of dashing. Purple Water, can you answer my other comment? I think that was the one you were asking about, mate. Add 89. What's the biggest mistake you've made on a job? Biggest mistake. Right, one time, two things spring to mind. One time, there was an Artex ceiling, and it had been glossed. Right, so it was a low suction background. So I coated it with a coat of bonding coat, ruled it all off, got it nice and flat because the Artex was dead thick, you know, really thick Artex, like big stalagmites. We straightened it all out of bonding coat, and then we skimmed it. Now, I did this. It was all down to me, basically. Skimmed it, and then about 3 days later, the lock come down, it come off. And that was when I discovered that even on a low suction background, doesn't matter. Whenever you go over paint, anything that's painted, it has to be sealed, no matter what. So no one sort of I never come across that situation when I was being taught by my dad. So I just assumed that that'll be okay. So that bit me on the arse when I was in my early 20s. Always use a primer or a sealer, even before a back coat plaster over paint. That was one thing. Another thing, another one that got me, and it wasn't me, but I was in charge of the job. So we got this house, and it was for one of my dad's mates. He was like a bit of a builder, and it was all asbestos. The whole house, it was panels of asbestos. It was like a one-off build. I've never seen another house like it since. But it was like a timber-framed house, and it was cladded with asbestos sheets on the outside and like Tudor boards. It looked like Tudor cladding, okay? And inside was all asbestos, and it had all been ripped out by an asbestos company. So we've gone in then to plasterboard all of the stud walls and plaster it all. Now we had the electricians in and what have you, and it was all ready for us to go. And what he said to us was, if there's any bits of copper or anything in the walls, feel free to just rip it out, and you can weigh it in, you know, for taking it out. And there was loads. I don't know why the plumbers hadn't took it, and I don't know why the electricians hadn't took it, but there was tons and tons of copper. All the pipe work was basically just still where it was. So I said to the lads, look, just rip it all out, and we'll just take it. You know, once it's all out, we'll just take it to the scrapyard and see what it's worth. There was the big copper cylinder in there and all sorts. So that was the deal. Now this is where it all went wrong, because Sierra Delta, you'll see him on the videos if you watch the videos. He went downstairs and there was a big lead main that come out the floor with the stopcock on the end of it, and it had been turned off, you know. So he got the lead main because he thought, right, that's lead, that'll do. Bent it down to the floor and then got the lath hammer, like, which is, if you're not a plasterer, it's like a plasterer's hammer's got like an axe on one side of it. He just bent the lead water main down, just cut it straight off with one chop, and that was it. We basically had a spring in the kitchen, and the water was just like whoosh, goes outside because he's like, help, help, help. He's trying to stop it with his hand. I went in. He was literally drenched through, completely soaked through. He's trying to plug it. It's just spraying him in the face and everything. So I've ran down to the bottom of the driveway, opened the little grid, you know, to try and get to the stopcock. I'm not kidding you. That thing had never been turned off in the last 60 years. It was about that deep. And when I opened the grid, it was about that far from the top, just full of soil, stones, broken glass. You name it, that thing was full, the whole. And by the time I dug down to the bottom of it to then realise it wasn't a tap down there, it was like a different shaped thing, and you had to get one of those twisty things. Anyway, by the time we turned the water off, and we realised, I don't know why it's like this, but when we turned that one off, it turned next door off as well. So to turn the water off, it turned both houses off, which then becomes another nightmare because then they want their water on, but you can imagine how much of a chaos this caused. But by the time we actually had it turned off, there was just water running down the driveway and everything. Fortunately, there was nothing in the house, you know, it was completely empty. It was just a concrete slab. But even still, it was filled up to the threshold of the doors. It was chaos. But we dried it out, you know, and we plasterboarded it, and we got the job done in the end. It was all, you know, it all come right in the end. But yeah, so there's two fairly big mistakes. Yeah, without clear direction, crazy people can do crazy things. So I mean, for me, I just knew, yeah, you don't chop the water main off. Obviously, that's where the water comes in. But some people, if you don't specifically tell them exact instructions, then they just do their own stuff, don't they? So, Mark Howie, how you doing, mate? Tyler Davidson, Liam Gorner, Robert Saban, living life on the wild side without moderator in the comments. Yes, that's how I roll, man. Ryan Thomas, hi Kirk from Northeast, keep going the good graft. Cheers, mate. David, block the reptile and he's gone, mate. Don't worry, he might come back under a different name. Paul Murphy, hey Kirk, have you got any horror stories with cleaning out buckets and spillages of water in customers' homes? Keep up the good work, mate. Love the channel. Not really. I mean, obviously everyone's kicked a bucket of water over at some point. When I looked at a job once, and it was when I was younger, so you're sort of competing, you're trying to get every job you look at. And we goes there, the woman went with somebody else, and then I got a phone call 2 weeks later, can I go back and have a look? He hadn't done any plastering, but when I got there was white footprints down the drive. The bottom of the door had been boarded up, and the inside was just carpet was ruined. What actually happened is this fella had gone there, the fella that was cheaper than me, because when you're starting out and you don't know any better, you sort of end up working for these people that just want cheap all the time. And he'd gone there to do his cheap job, and he was on his way. He'd mixed up outside, and he was on his way taking his bucket of plaster upstairs. And on the way upstairs, the handle had snapped off his bucket, and a full bucket of finish had bounced down the stairs, obviously just splattering plaster everywhere. And what was left, like a half a bucket, had smashed the glass in the bottom of the door. Do you remember those old glass doors, and they had like the leaf pattern in them? Do you remember? They were like lethal doors, you know. If you smash them, like big shards of glass come off, you know. Not like nowadays where it turns to crumbs. It smashed straight through one of them. He had just walked down the stairs through the plaster and got in his van and basically just done one, and wouldn't answer his phone. So that's how I got the call to go back and carry on. He hadn't put any plaster on the wall. He'd prepped it for me. He put the glue on the wall and put a few beads on, so it made my life a little bit easier. Levi McMeekin, great plasterer. I can't skim half the amount in a day. Mate, it's just technique, more practice. That's all it is, mate. Deacon Baker, you put Bob the Builder to shame, mate. Sound. My little lad might disagree with you because I think he prefers Bob the Builder. Daniel Greer, evening, mate. Was that an update on the trials I just heard? Looking forward to... Yes, mate, don't worry. Not long. John Poe, brother, are you an Aussie? No. James Harris, Kirk, how was the trip to Scotland? Messy, mate, messy. I'm still recovering from it ultimately. Robardo Kennedy, yeah, go and Reptile Anderson, you should go and hit up Diddy's streams. I'm sure he'd think you're great. Yeah, I think anyone from Hollywood at the minute's a bit flipping dodgy as well, aren't they? JB78. I'm not even reading that. Right, where are we up to here? Right, guys, so I'm just going to skip through a few comments, only because I want to get to the end of these comments. But if I miss you out and you really want to know something and you've got a genuine question, then feel free to just ask again. But it's 10:30 and I have got editing to do, so don't want to be rude. But I'm just going to blitz through these last little comments here now. I've skipped a load of them. If anyone's still on that have asked a question and you want the question answering, then just fire it in the comments quick and I'll get to you. But otherwise, I'm just going to get to here now and I've got to go. Purple Water, thanks, Kurt. That does make sense. It really is a thing I'm working on, as I've been skimming over a year now, and I can get my walls almost perfect. However, it takes me way longer than my other colleague. Don't worry, mate. Speed will come. Just focus on neat and clean and good quality work. Sometimes some fellas might push you to go faster, but just get your technique mastered first, and once that's done, speed naturally follows. Andy Rossi, hi mate, bought 60s house with spiky Artex over most of the ceilings. What would be the best way to have smooth ceilings back? Scrape and skim it, strip and skim it, or board over it. Love the content. All depends on the situation, mate. If you've got coving around the edges or cornice, then, you know, overboarding might be a problem. If you haven't, and, you know, it's just a square room, then overboarding is going to be the quickest, easiest way to do it. 60s house, you potentially shouldn't have lime wash paint in there, but there might be lime wash under the Artex. So just check if you can give the Artex wear a mask, because everyone will get on your case about asbestos in the Artex. Put your mask on, give the Artex a little scrape. If the Artex comes away quite easy, and behind it is quite chalky and dusty, then you're probably better overboarding it because it's lime wash paint, and that's why you hear plasterers' ceilings falling down sometimes. But if that's good and solid, then there's no reason why you can't just give it a quick scrape and skim over it, you know. James Harris, how's the bathroom going? When's the next video for it out? Ultimately, it'll be once it's finished, and then it takes me a little while to edit the video, so not long, mate, not long, a week or two, and that'll be done. Inhumane Creation Station. That was interesting till I saw the Trump sign. Absolute roasty you are. I'm assuming a roaster is an insult. So I always say is take care. Enjoy. Natasha Tingley. People are saying he's ugly, but I'm gay. Do you support gay people? Tash, I don't really care if you care or not. It doesn't make a difference to me. Here's the thing. I'm a big believer in live and let live. As long as what you're doing doesn't hurt anybody else. I don't care if you're flipping gay, if you're a teapot. That doesn't really. I think everybody is pretty much got the same view as me. You know, people always going about like right wings and rednecks and all that. I'm just a regular working bloke, right? And I would say on behalf of most regular working blokes, we don't really care what anybody does, as long as you aren't hurting any kids or doing any strange things and, you know, forcing your views on people. No one really cares what you do. I don't care if anybody's gay. I've got mates that are gay. I don't give them monkeys. As long as they don't start trying to flipping kiss me or tell me that my kids have to love them because they're gay, that's fine. Purple Water. I understand he has more experience, but when I'm flattening, I take longer. So longer. They say I'm too worried about the details and go over it too many times, as I tend to go over it around 5 or 6 times. I'm still find imperfections. Do I need to be going over it less? Yeah, ultimately, that's the whole point, that you're going to have a wet trowel and then a second wet trowel. So, you know, you can't get it perfect on the first flatten. That's the reason you go over it again 2 more times. So, potentially, there's a little bit of truth in what they're saying to you, mate. Hubert Flanagan, tell them the story when I slapped you. Hubert, I don't think it exists, mate, because otherwise, if you'd slapped me, you'd probably be dead, wouldn't you? Alfie Lander, I've been working with... Oh, wait there, let's just get rid of nonsense. There we go. Alfie Lander, I've been working with a few plasterers, and one of them on site buys a new ox trowel every 6 weeks. The other has a Marshalltown he's had for 13 years. Which do you prefer? Do you constantly change or stick to it? I'm using a 14 by 4 inch carbon steel trowel. I find I get through one of these every, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, and the reason is they start rounding off here too much because I use the corners quite a lot. So yeah, these last me about 5 or 6 years. But saying that, I do constantly go through them because I'm wearing trowels in to sort of give away and sell them, what have you. But ultimately, you know, a good Marshalltown lasts you a while. By the way, Marshalltown trowel will last you a hell of a lot longer than 5 or 6 years if you're not worried about the corners rounding off. But I use the corners to cut my angles straight, so it's quite important for me. But say, for instance, someone like my dad, who will just work, or used to work, hard angles, or will use a corner trowel. I mean, there's no reason one of these won't last you 20, 30 years, you know. Alistair Booth, hey up, Alistair. Just jumped on by chance. Hope you're having a good weekend. All good, mate, thank you. JB78, I kicked the bucket of PVA down the stairs, carpet a lot. It was grim, I can imagine. Alfie, this happens to him. Just reading for you quick. Smegma Shield, best grit sandpaper for sanding walls, mate. Remove heel lines, cheers. Ultimately, you don't want the heel lines, mate. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't know what to recommend you because I've never had to do it. But ultimately, you don't want to be leaving any lines on the walls. If you've got heel lines, then just potentially give it one more trowel at the end, just go over it once more. But if you had to sand it down, I'd probably go with something fairly fine if that's the way you had to go with it, mate. Chris Swan, what SBR brands do you, Amazon, do? Some cheap ones, not sure on trying. I think the main one that I get in my builders merchants is Everbuild or Seeker. Either of them would be fine, Andrew Atkinson, hello bud. How do I put my name down for one of those broken in trials? Thanks. There's a link in the channel description that takes you to like a little landing page, and there's a little link in there which will take you to the right place, but there's none ready yet, mate, so don't go down that route just yet. You'll know when I'm doing more trials, when there's more on the go. I will let you know, mate. I mean, there's nothing stopping you and purchasing sort of now, apart from the fact that you won't get one for ages. So the link sort of has been hidden away a little bit. It's there if you really go rooting and looking for it, but I wouldn't bother yet, mate. It's going to be a little while yet. Jovan, pardon one. Hello, my friend. How's it going, mate? Andy Rossi, thanks, mate. Appreciate the advice. Enjoy editing. Roberto Kennedy, imagine someone getting so upset you have a Trump sign. I know, mate. I know. My best mate hates Trump. We have loads of debates about it, but ultimately, I mean, if you all like the same thing, life would be boring, wouldn't it? So, do you know what though? Little snowflakes. I like if it offends. If someone is that easily offended by me liking Donald Trump, then I'm glad to not have them here. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, if you're that much of a snowflake, then I'm glad I haven't wasted time talking to you. Right. Gunana Itvara, just catching the end, it seems, but big respect, man. Thanks for passing on what you know time and again. No problem, mate. Appreciate your comment. Thank you. JB78, I've got a Marshalltown 16-inch trowel, 17 years old. I've had to change the handle a few times. Lovely trowel. Yeah, Marshalltown sell handles as well, by the way, guys, if you need a new handle for your trowel. Teddy Smith, hi. just squeezing one last little comment in, was you, Teddy? David McIntosh, use my Nella for some acrylic render. And yeah, that was the end of that skimming trowel. Yeah, acrylic sticks for everything, mate. But that's the best use of flexi trowels, is to put thin coat on with it. It really does do a good job of it. Random, give me a shout out, please. Random, yours are the last comment. There's your shout out. Cheers, guys. Right. Alfie, have fun editing Kirk, mate. See ya. Guys, listen. Cheers for dropping on the live with me. It's been emotional. We had a laugh, didn't we? A few little trolls. We might have to look at getting a moderator, but the only thing is, I just go live whenever I feel like it. I try and do a Sunday. I try and get on every Sunday. So if I did have someone moderating it, it'd just be hard because they'd have to fit in with me. It is what it is, isn't it? Anyway. GG. Good night, mate. Roberto, nice one. Have a good one. Take care. Adam B. Latest Kirk. Guys, it's been a pleasure. See you soon, boys. I won't be doing. I'm trying to click off. I'm trying to click off on the laptop, and I'm not even live on the laptop. I'm live on my phone. Fucking idiot, aren't I? Take it easy, guys. See you later. Where's the flipping button on this? There we go. I'm on the phone. I don't even know how to turn the flipping live off on this thing. Look, this is what I'm doing here, just so you know as well. There's me talking to you. Can you see that? There we go. There we go. See, that's it. I've got it. Found it. See you later, guys. Take it easy.